Aloha. Welcome to Yogi Tea Time. I'm Steph, and this is episode 41. Let me see. Episode 41, and we're going to be just welcoming the fall and talking about some colors that represent the fall. So I hope you're doing well. And before we get into the subject, let's just take a moment to really feel the earth beneath you, whether it's your feet on the ground, your sit bones on the ground, or you can lie down and just let me know if you can hear me okay. And just take a couple deep breaths to get calm and centered. We're in this Virgo season, so it's really important to tune into the earth sign, earth elements. And as we talk about the colors of the fall, you'll see why we are also going to be focusing on the earth tones as it represents the fall. Those are the colors that represent the fall the most in general. So welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to connect with you today on the 7th of September. It seems like the September's already gone by really fast. And even though I'm in California and it doesn't feel like it, we're officially going into the fall season. We had in the US, we had our Labor Day weekend over the weekend. So last Monday was a holiday for a lot of us in the US. So wishing you a happy fall. And today I'm drinking just iced coffee because it's kind of hot today. And in Southern California, actually the September is hotter than June, July. And it starts to feel more like a summer. We get the Indian summer. And we haven't really had like real summer this summer. And it's finally starting to warm up now. But so I'm drinking iced coffee. So, and sometimes coffee is feels more grounding, even though it has caffeine. So let me know where you're tuning in from, whether you're joining us live. If you're joining us live, you can use the live chat. If you're finding this video later on, watching it on the replay, feel free to use the comment section to let me know. Say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from. And welcome to those new subscribers. I'm happy to connect with you. So let me know what you're looking forward to the fall season. So we just had our very powerful Pisces supermoon, which is the biggest moon, brightest moon, which was also a blue moon, which means second full moon of the month in August, end of August. And the energy of that moon was pretty powerful prior to and after. And then right before that, we had a pretty weird weather pattern. So I'm what's called an earth empath. So I'm also not sensitive to energies around me via the people around me, but also the changes in the earth pattern. So sometimes, we had a very minor earthquake that we felt in Southern California, in LA area, but it was epicentered in Ojai. That was very unexpected with the combination of the hurricane warning that turned out to be a pretty big storm. It died down, and I think Palm Springs felt it more. So I'm just talking about all this just because there's a lot of changes happening, and sometimes like the news and the social media can just kind of hype everything up, talking about, they even had a name for it. It was like a Hillary hurricane and then this earthquake, so they had this earthquake combo name, hurricane combo names. But in for most people in LA, it didn't really affect us that much. But LA just doesn't know how to deal with rain in general. But it was not a hurricane because I have lived in Miami for a year, so I know what the real hurricane prep and the aftermath of what real hurricane can do. So I'm not diminishing the people that might have been affected by it, but I just feel like there was a lot more hype. So just, don't just see the news and social media and just believe all the hype. um, so I hope everyone was safe and everyone's doing well. And then now the fall, let's just talk about the fall. So now we're going into the fall season, which is more of a summer is more outgoing, and fall, all the leaves turn orange and yellow. And then towards the end of the fall, you start to see some of the leaves falling down, even like beginning of the fall. And even though I'm in Southern California, where we don't really have seasonal changes that drastic, we still do biologically feel the changes of the season. And I grew up the first 10, 11 years of my life in Seoul, Korea. So I went through the very distinctive four seasons. And I just remember fall being the most beautiful foliage. And the only time I've ever been to New York, which, I wanted to really go there more, but the only time I actually got to go to New York, um, the fall foliages were most beautiful. So the East Coast has the most beautiful fall foliages, as well as, Korea. Fall is, I think, one of the best times if you ever want to travel to Korea. So Korea, kind of cool, it's when it starts to cool down, all the fall foliages happen, or springtime when the cherry blossoms. So for those of you that are in the southern hemisphere, like Australia or South America, you're probably going into the spring season. So, that's welcoming all the spring blossoms and all that. But since I'm in the northern hemisphere, I'm going to focus more on the fall because that's the season that I'm in. And definitely Japan, the Kyoto area, from what I've seen, has one of the most beautiful fall foliages. And one of these days, as a Reiki master, I definitely would love to visit Kyoto and go up to the mountain and the temple, where they dedicated to the Sensei Usui, because I'm part of the Usui lineage of Reiki master. So, whenever you study a lineage, it's always nice to actually go to the root country or place where it actually was found. I've been to India, the Rishikesh, the bottom part of the Himalayan, and it was amazing to actually feel the energy of all those, where the mantras came, and study the mantra in that environment. I'm sorry, there's a helicopter going by. So as a Reiki master, I would love to visit Kyoto. That's definitely on my bucket list. And I think if I'm going to plan a trip, that kind of trip, I would definitely love to do it in the fall, when the fall foliages are beautiful. So let me know if fall is your favorite season. I think for a lot of some people that are very sensitive to seasons, for some they go through that mild fall depression, mild depression, or just feeling that sense of melancholy or loneliness. So if you're one of those, if you fall into that category, also let me know, and I'll be sending you some extra Reiki support for that. And today I'm gonna keep it very casual in talking about the colors of the fall. So, when we go into the fall season, we want to express, each color have their own energy. Our environments change and reflects those colors. And when we flow with the seasons and align with the seasons, connect to nature, it just gives us more different inspirations. We want to really open up all our senses. So my purpose with this channel and sharing a lot of these practices are so that you can really open up through all the different senses and kind of play with what really helps you to feel inspired, what gives you that inspiration to create from that joy from within, that fueling your inner child with joy, and also process. This is a good time to actually reflect, review, and process and nurture any sense of loneliness, sadness, feelings of that fall blue. Not like a blue, but that sense of blueness that comes from the change of season or just change in general, especially if you live in areas that have very distinctive changes with season. And also know that even if you're in California or areas that don't have too much change, biologically you still go through those changes, so you might still be affected, especially if you're earth angel. So this is a great time to really take extra time for self-care, take extra time to meditate, take extra time to ground, feel the earth beneath your feet, wherever you are at in nature. If you go to the short section of my channel, I posted a video of me just walking barefoot on grass. So even if you just do that 1 minute, couple minutes a day, feeling the sunshine whenever you feel the sunshine, or just fresh air or the wind, it's all great. So let's get to the colors. So colors are perception. It's how we take in light and reflect the light that allows us to see color. And our tool are the eyes, the irises and cornea, but it gets interpreted in your brain. I'm getting kind of technical, but then that's why some people see colors a little bit differently. And also the way the light gets added on or subtracted, that also creates color in light form, but also physically. We're also reflecting light and absorbing and reflecting light on the surface of the objects that we're seeing when it's a physical color that we're seeing on a physical object. So today I'm wearing this brick orange. This is kind of represented by color. It's of the fall. It's more common color, foliage. Others are yellow. And then I'm going to share my screen to just, I just Googled the fall colors. So I'll be sharing that. I'll just keep myself. Let me see. For some reason, can you hear me? I just want to make sure my sound doesn't go off, because last time I screen shared, when I made myself disappear, couldn't hear the sound of my voice. So I'm going to be sharing these, Pantone color palette. It's what's used with designers, whether you're in graphic design, fashion design, interior design, any types of design field, working with colors or print. Pantone is like the company that has the master colors, and they usually predict the colors that's trending. And then when I Google, the most interesting one I saw is this, the 5 trendy colors of 2023. So if you're talking about basic fall colors, and then soon we're gonna get like all the pumpkin spice stuff in Trader Joe's, especially if everything's gonna be pumpkin spice. But I do love pumpkin spice latte when you go to coffee shops. So these are the fall foliage colors. Here, all the orange, the khaki green, kind of burgundish red, yellow, all the pumpkins, and then this is like all the foliages in nature. So it's nice to kind of wear the colors of the fall, or you can use it in designs to reflect the fall. So these are usually the typical fall colors that we think of. And these are the hex colors that you would use for, websites. And it also gives you that sense of like coziness, warm, even though it's not quite winter. You feel that sense of, again, reflection. Something about fall makes me feel like nostalgia. So it's going to be different for everyone. So there's no real right or wrong, but that's how most people feel. So let me know. And then the fruits that are in season, they're the persimmon, which is orange, and apples are really good at this time. So you want to also eat fruits that are in season. So that's all going to be also that's how you'll be connecting with the color, the energies of the color of the fall. And it's very grounding, again, connecting to that earth element and sense of, the orange colors are connected to your sacral chakra, the second chakra. So it's going to help you connect to your it's a great time to really nurture your inner child, as well as do some inner child healing. Allow yourself to feel all the emotions, but in a kind, safe way. But, each year there's also different trends that get set. And I said a lot of times the color trends, usually if you go to the Pantone.com, You can see the color trends, and then you'll see it all over the magazines, like, commercials. You'll see that color everywhere almost. So I'm not saying you want to follow all the trends, but if you're the type that likes to keep up with the trend and be up with the new trends and things, you can always look that up. Fashion magazines, things like that. But here, this website, the patternedit.com, is showing you the five fall trend, the trending colors of the fall. These are kind of breaking the normal fall colors. So you can, whatever you connect with, whatever that calls and draws to you intuitively, you can use that more. You can see how it feels when you wear those colors. So there's psychology of colors, but also the colors that makes you feel something. I mean, each color will make different people feel different things. So you also want to tune into how you feel when you wear it, how it looks against your skin tone. So, and if you're not good with colors, the more you practice and learn about it and experiment, the more you'll get it. So this is Astro Dust. So when we wear the color, you're expressing yourself through your clothes, through those colors, and expressing that feeling that you're having when you wear that color. And when you know the meaning, you can also use those meaning intuitively or by reading and learning about it to expand that energy so that you can show up with that meaning. And it's all about intention. So people might feel it energetically, or they might have also studied it and just know from studying the colors what it is, but they might just feel how you exude that, what represents to you. I mean, what that color represents to you, and how you express it is what people are gonna feel. And you always wanna wear the colors confidently, and it could just be a small accessory if it doesn't go with your whole skin tone, or it could be just nails, whatever, purse, earrings. So the first color, I'm just going to go over this really quickly because I'm not doing a full lesson on colors, but I just want you to look at it and just be aware that these things exist. So you can do your own research and see what you resonate with. So the first trending color of 2023 is Astro Dust. And then you might also decide to just stick with the traditional fall colors. And also kind of like that sage green is also part of the traditional colors of fall. Galactic Cobalt. So these are all already being used in the fashion shows, and that's why these pictures are here. Galactic Cobalt. See how it makes you feel. So this is more representing, inspired by transformative and technologically driven developments in the digital and meta worlds. So this is for people who want to be bold and kind of align more with the technical side of our development this fall. Sage leaf. This is reducing anxiety and stress levels of the brain. That's what this color, they're intending these colors to do, sage leaf. And then I didn't explain the Astro Dust very quickly. It speaks to a sense of renewed motivation, desire for rebuild and explore, discovering new frontiers internally and externally. So that's what this was intended. And I really like this Astro dust. Kind of goes more closer to my brand colors with this lavender. I really like this combo. I don't really like this stripe, but like this one, the flowy dress. I love that. But I really love the combo of the lavender with that astro dust. So I think that would be like my favorite. Sage is always calming, and you know, the plant sage is what really great for cleansing by burning sage. It's really great for cleansing the environment energetically. So, you know, you can think of this scent of sage. You can burn a candle that's scented with sage. And then I also love to cook with sage. You can make like sage butter pasta. You can actually get the fresh herb of sage and cook with it with the garlic and butter. You can use vegan butter if you're vegan. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh yeah, and then the digital lavender. That's the first. I skipped that one. That's really pretty too. So digital lavender is actually the color of this fall of 2023. So I think I have 4 here. Calming and soft lilac shade that's soothing and restful. So I think this fall really is a more than ever calling us to hike up the self-care, take extra time to connect to earth, the nature, and rest more. So that's digital lavender. And then apricot crush. So those are the 5. I kind of went from 3 to 5 and then went back up to 1 and 2. So this is supposed to be, this is closest to the traditional fall colors. When we think of fall, warm, bright, luminous, peachy shade of orange apricot crush reflects optimistic and unifying energy and play. Restorative and energizing, bridging the difference between genders, age groups, reconstructing our vision for the future. So I really like that. So, you know, it's nice. Fashion is always a great place to look at for trends. And a lot of times they follow the Pantone colors that are recommended by Pantone. So you can use that, you know, if you want to represent fall in your social media or just to connect to the energy of the fall. Like I said, you can wear them or just go to nature with a lot of fall foliages. You know, even if you're in Southern California, you can always go to areas that still have like trees that are the fall foliage colors, or farmers market, or you can just go to Trader Joe's and look at all the products that are pumpkin spiced. Everything is gonna have those orange colors and everything's gonna be pumpkin everywhere. And then already everything is going to be Halloween themed. And then this is another like more neutral beige and earth tones. Lots of brown, chocolate brown is always a fall color. This like mustard yellow, light peachy orange, all the beiges. Yeah, so that's all I have to share about that. And anytime we go through seasonal changes, it's always great to connect with the number 5 in numerology, represents change. So I have my yoga nidra practice in the guided meditation. So you can look through and do the yoga nidra practice for 555, and metta meditation, the loving kindness, is always great for grounding and calming and just feeling that connection to all around you. Also, my mandala coloring book. Just go to the amazon.com/author/turtle-flow. It's the amazon.com turtle flow has the W at the end. I just went through the whole naming changes on all my social media to drop the W, but the Amazon one still has a W. So that's what's going to inspire you to, I think, be more reflective, practicing kindness, and really taking good care of yourself. And kindness always starts with yourself. So always doing self-care and taking your time for yourself, even if it's 5 minutes. That's really important. And journaling and taking time to reflect. And if you want to connect to the fall colors, you can also do that through a coloring book using the fall colors. So you can go to my mandala coloring book and connect to the energy of different intention that's in there. I have 27 different designs connected with each intentional words that also has infused Reiki energy to really support you to connect with that word. And when you start mandala, it helps you to connect to your truth, your higher self, that deeper guide from your intuition. That's gonna really help you to connect to what you're here to create, to your joy, and being kinder to yourself, regardless of what the external is telling you. So the act of coloring itself is very relaxing, and you can do that looking out, in the nature, foliage. And you can, once it's done, you can take a picture, upload it to Instagram, and tag me at turtleflow_ with yeah. And I would love to see that in your story or post. You can tag me. And when you get the coloring book, I also have hashtags that let you know the hashtags to use so that I can see your posts, what you share. And you can also frame it and put it in your altar to stare at, to connect with that word and the fall. So I'm just looking forward to, and this is a great time to really review. We're in Mercury retrograde. There's like 6 different retrogrades. I didn't really pay attention to all the different ones, but I just know that Venus was in retrograde, but it just went direct. And the biggest planet, Uranus, just went retrograde in Taurus, which is another Earth sign. So there are a lot of planets in Earth sign. We're also in Sun in Virgo season, which is one of the best Earth sign to really add something, a practice to up your health physically, whether it's just adding more vegetables, maybe just taking in a juice in the morning, fresh juice, eating food with colors of the fall, fruits that are in season, supporting your local farmers market. So we're just waking up all our senses. Maybe listening, you can create a playlist. I love creating like playlists. Maybe I'll create a fall playlist. I kind of started a very small summer playlist. I also have a high vibe playlist. So, if you love music the way I do, it's nice to listen to songs that reminds you of fall. The lyrics don't have to be fall. One of my favorite music is Earth, Wind and Fire, September. So that's a great hype song that always makes you feel good. Very high frequency energy, and taking time to slowly, mindfully walk in nature, feeling the earth underneath your feet. If you're more of an ocean person, you can do that at the beach, just feeling sand underneath. So it doesn't have to be grass or the mountain, or you don't have to see the fall foliage, and just watching the sunset colors or like all the fall colors. So fall kind of like reminds me of that sunset. And sunset is a very powerful time to reflect, be grateful for each day, and it's a great time to meditate, as actual physically there's a magnetic field shift that happens in sunrise and sunsets. So that's why a lot of people are drawn to it. And so I also have gratitude journal at the same link. So you can use gratitude journal to practice being grateful each day, at the end of the day, or in the mornings, whichever calls to you. Tapping into your truth, so that the more you get clear on your truth by getting quiet, going within and listening to yourself, that inner voice, your intuition, that's oftentimes or guided by that higher guides, if you believe in it. That's going to put you onto the path of the highest level, your highest creativity, paying attention to your dreams and journaling, letting yourself feel. And that's how you cultivate your authentic creativity. So everything I share in this channel is to help you find that authentic creativity and give you that courage and confidence and clarity to express it in any form that calls to you, whether you share that with the world or keep it to yourself. And that's going to sometimes set you on a new career path, or it just fuels you to fuel your soul, so that you can show up to your 9 to 5 job that might feel mundane, so that you can really have that purpose to keep going and appreciate everything that's providing for you, and spread love and gratitude and kindness to those around you, so that we can uplift each other, support each other, embrace each other's differences, each other's quirks that makes us special, and open up our perspective and senses, so that you can really, accept the differences. And that's what makes the world go around. We're not all meant to do the same thing, and we're not all meant to do the same thing and be the same way like robots. We're all here to be unique And we all have the right to express ourselves as long as we're not hurting anyone, as long as it's not mean-spirited or harmful to anybody else. So I'm wishing you a wonderful fall season. Please, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with anyone that might find it useful. And color, even though you might not do color in an artistic way, again, it's what you wear, how you want to express or connect to the season. So you're flowing with the seasons of life, seasons aligning and just flowing with the cycles of life instead of going against it. Let me know if you're the type that believes in wearing white after Labor Day or it's a no-no for you. So there's like a debate going. And then in the US, Labor Day is that cutoff time where you don't wear anything white, which is a very summer color after Labor Day. So to me, we're here to do whatever feels right for you. And depending on the environment you're in, you might be still wearing more bright colors. Like when I lived in Miami, white and all the bright colors go so well with the light and surrounding environment there. Like if you go to the Northern California, everything's more gray and dull. And if you wear like really bright color, it looks weird. But you know, I'm not saying you blend in with the environment, but sometimes the environment inspires you to certain colors, or it just helps you to connect with certain mood, a color, and then that's what matches your personality to the environment and whether that environment is right for you. So maybe it's a good time to even reflect. Maybe you need a change of environment to be your best self. There's this amazing documentary that just aired that I just watched on Netflix called The Blue Zone. It talks about the effect of environment on our health and what helps us to be healthy, vibrant until we're 100. Looking into all the blue zones in the world and the findings. So that was very interesting. And so your environment does make a difference. And some people thrive in certain environments, some people don't. Again, one place is not better than the other. And even within that environment, you could create your own environment in your own home. And adding these practices really helps you to create what feels right for you. So this episode with the fall colors, just helping you to connect with that energy of the fall. And then lastly, I briefly mentioned about some of the fall colors being connected to the second chakra and then the solar plexus. So it's like a lot of these lower three, the more grounding. The deep reds are more first chakra, orange is second chakra, yellows are the third chakra. So those all have to do with grounding, security, feeling safe, passion, inner child for the second chakra, and third chakra is willpower, motivation, that sense of confidence. So we really want to really connect to those and doing some self-care to connect with doing this self-care practices to really balance those three chakras, and wearing those colors also helps to connect with those. So and just playing with those colors in any way. So that's what I want to say. So if you made it this far, let me you can put the fall leaf emojis to let me know you made it this far, and I really appreciate you for being here. And again, share with me what your favorite season is, if fall is your favorite season, and what you like about it, and your favorite song for the fall. Again, I shared mine, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'll be also, next week, I'll be posting Yin Yoga for the fall. So Yin Yoga, I've been posting just one long one for each season, connecting to the meridian points of each season, because Yin Yoga is great for emotional healing and connecting to the subtle body via the meridian points, which are based on traditional Chinese medicine. So just holding those poses helps to balance those energy channels, which are related to the organs. And it can help with the organ function, but it's more on an energetic, subtle body level, which is very powerful for transformation. So even though it seems like you're not doing anything, it really transforms and heals you and opens your body in a safe way. So check out Yin Yoga for Beginning if you haven't done Yin Yoga as an introductory. And then you can try the seasonal ones. And even though it's not the season, if you need the energy of that meridian points, you can also do the one. So I'll be posting Yin Yoga for the fall. So be on the lookout for that. And then I just posted the Reiki for the Pisces moon. So that's also going to help you through this whole rest of the moon cycle until the new moon. So you can always come back to that over and over. And I share things on the community tab. So also check out the community tab. And if you ever have any requests, feel free to request under the videos here what you want to see. And I'll definitely be doing more Reiki shorts as well as long form videos. So again, wishing you a happy fall, and I will see you soon. Aloha. Let me just end with this. All right. So thank you so much.